Well, good morning. Today is Sunday, the 16th of August, 2020. We are under a beautiful high pressure system, so I thought we'd go for a flight down to one of my favorite spots, Quincy, Illinois. No real excitement here. We're going to talk about the week's events, maybe touch on a few things that are going on. And that's about it. It's just an enjoyable VFR flight to have some breakfast. Nothing fancy or special. Anyway, let's get started. We're going to get the ATIS here.
System up service. Advise on initial contact. Do you have information? Alpha.
Alpha.
City Airport information Alpha 1252 Zulu, wind 280 at 3, visibility 10, sky clear, temperature 18, dew point 15, altimeter 3009er, visual approaching use, landing and departing runway 27. Notice airman, runway 927 ILS out of service, runway 27, approach lighting system up service. Advise on initial contact. Do you have information? Alpha.
We do have Alpha 3009.
City Airport information Alpha 125.
Okay.
Bear 9555 Bravo, Quad City clearance, Roger, standby, clearance on request.
Clearance delivery 124.05, I think. Oh, come on, there we go. Good morning, Quad City clearance delivery, Comanche 6928 Papa at the South Tees with Alpha.
Comanche 628 Papa, Quad City clearance, standby.
Okay.
Bear 55 Bravo, maintain VFR at or below 4,000, departure frequency 125.95, squawk 5333.
A little warm.
55 Bravo, VFR below 4,000, 25, 95, 5333 on squawk.
Bear 55 Bravo, read back correct. Comanche 28 Papa, say request.
Yeah, good morning, sir. We're VFR headed for Quincy for breakfast, 3,500.
Hey, Comanche 28 Papa, verify, going to Quincy, Uniform India, November.
That is correct, sir.
Roger, stand by. Bear 9555 Bravo, Quad City ground, runway 5, taxi via Kilo.
All right, come on, guys. Of course, we got one guy handling the whole thing. That's
Comanche 28 Papa, maintain VFR at or below 4,000, departure frequency 133.27, squawk 1311.
6928 Papa, at or below 4, 1311, 13327. 6928 Papa.
Comanche 28 Papa, read back correct.
13327. We'll get that dialed in. 3327. We got tower, we need ground. Okay, back to our checklist. Program the GPS. We are going KUIN. Direct. And make sure we got this correct. That looks right. That is right. Transponder is set. Lights are good. Directional gyro is set. Comm radios are set. Nav radios are set. Airspeed is set at 0. Altimeter 580, that looks good. SI flaps. And I am going to pay attention to this. It was pointed out to me in my last video that it's maybe lagging quite a bit.
Clearance, maintain VFR at or below 4,000.
Set.
Frequency 125.95, squawk 0337.
Indicator is in the green. The panel is 1, we got it
4204,
good.
back correct. Bear 90555 Bravo, Quad City
Brakes.
Tower. Flight runway heading, runway
They're
5,
set.
cleared for takeoff.
Go to ground. You're on ground.
Wind call.
Wait until he's done talking here.
Quad City Ground, Warrior 32204, Southeast, information Alpha, ready to taxi, request 115.
Warrior 32204, Quad City Ground, runway 5, taxi via Kilo.
5 Kilo for 204.
Quad City Ground, Comanche 6928 Pop at the T's as well. We'll take Alpha, or we'll take 5 if we can get it.
Comanche 628 Papa, Quad City Ground. You can follow the Warrior to runway 5, taxi via Kilo.
Follow the Warrior to 5 via Kilo, 28 Papa, thank you.
No problem. Warrior 204 is going to verify requested altitude of flight 3,500.
Affirmative for 204.
Roger, thank you.
Okay, so we're taxiing for the first time.
Comanche 28 Papa, sorry if I missed it. Information Alpha.
I did, sir.
Roger, thank you.
And there are a couple of things here that we got to pay attention to. There's a hole here that we want to make sure we get that tire around, or not a hole, but kind of a divot in the concrete. And then this part right over here has also got a bump that we're going to stay away from. And now we get on center line. So I hope everybody has had a good week. Boy, I'll let you. We've had a hell of a one around here this last week. I'll fill you in as we get into the air. The move to the new hangar is
55 Bravo,
complete.
contact departure flight.
I turned the keys into the old hangar. We're just on the opposite side of where we were. It's just a much nicer hangar. And I love the east facing because in the afternoon when it's hot, it's in the shade, of course, which is nice.
Will we be needing to do a run-up?
Yes. Affirmative for Warrior 204.
Roger. Comanche 28 Papa, will you be needing a run-up?
Affirmative, 28 Papa.
Roger.
So, yeah, the move is complete. It's much nicer. The yoke project I gave you guys an update on last week. There's nothing further really I'm going to report on that until we go in for the autopilot, which I'm hoping is in September. I've got on my schedule to call down to S-Tech this week to do a checkup on that. See how the testing is going with all this COVID stuff. You know, if the test pilot had to isolate for 14 days, that's going to push stuff back off. So, anyway, let's get busy here. We're going to pull up here on this Warrior, but we're not going to get close to him. Come a little bit off center line, and brake set. Let's go back to our checklist. Brake set, doors and windows closed, and locked flight controls. Free and correct. Everything feels smooth. Flight instruments are set. Mixture, we're going to leave it lean, throttle to 1500 RPM. It's 1500 RPM. Cycle the prop, that should drop. It does. Back up to 1500. Manifold pressure should increase. It does. Back up to 1500. Now we're looking for an oil pressure needle just to wiggle, and I'm not sure. You can see it there, it did it. Not sure if you guys can see that. Now we go up to 2. Make sure we don't creep. And check the mag. Mag is running. EIS back on. And now for this one, it's really small. Mag off. It only drops about 10 RPM. Carb heat works. Oil pressure, amp, oil pressure, yep, fuel pressure, everything looks good there. Our oil temperature is 122, back to idle. Good idle, back to 1,000. All right.
32204, Quad City Tower, runway 5, proceed on course, clear for takeoff.
Circuit breakers are in, trim is set. Radio to tower, next frequency is set. Transponder is on alt. Flaps are up, floor is clear. Primer is in and locked. Prop, throttle. We'll get this on roll on. Strobes, landing taxi. We'll get the fuel boost pump on and roll on. Let's see here. Land fuel boost pump. Review the takeoff checklist. We call tower. So fuel flaps trim across the whole short line. We'll rotate at 80, 85 when she wants to come off. Climb out 105, gear up, flaps up. Cruise out at 130, 125, 130. 2,500 RPM. We'll watch the cylinder head temps. We'll get her trimmed. Okay.
Quad C Tower, Comanche 6928 Papa, Kilo 1 and 5, sir, we are ready to go.
Comanche 6928 Papa, Tower, runway 5, turn right on course to Quincy, clear for takeoff.
Right on course to Quincy, cleared for takeoff, Comanche 6928 Papa.
Okay, fuel. Flaps. Trim, final check. Runway is clear.
100 feet remaining.
And he wants us right on course. I'm up here on center line. Wind sock is not even wiggling. Coming up on the power.
Clear 204, contact departure.
Contact departure 4204.
Temperatures and pressures. Fuel flows. Airspeed indicator is alive. There's 70. 75. There's 80. She wants to fly. We'll give her some nose up. Come away from the runway. Here coming up. Pitch for 105. That is lagging pretty good here. We might have to take that into the shop. There's 105. Let's go ahead and pitch her up here a little bit. Thousand feet, right on course. Go ahead and get her into a cruise climb. Cylinder head temperatures are still looking good. 370 is my hottest. Got that Warrior in sight. Still in a climb. Get her nose down a little bit here. Pick up a little bit more airspeed. A little bit of a bump where he flew.
Comanche 28 Papa, contact departure. Good day.
28 Papa over departure, thank you, sir. Good morning, Quad C departure, Comanche 6928 Papa, indicating 1,500 in a right-hand turn for Quincy.
Comanche 6928 Papa, Quad C departure, radar contact, VFR altitude to your discretion.
6928 Papa, going to 4,500, 28 Papa.
Okay, folks. Go ahead and back off the down to 2,500 here. $2,500. Cylinder head temps are looking good. We're on course. Going to 4,500. Let's go ahead and bring that fuel boost pump coming off. And we're gonna trim it down just a little bit to hold that. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and start picking up the speed here. We'll go to 130 for our climb out. We don't need, there's no reason to do 1,000 feet or, well, 700, 800 feet a minute. So we'll do 500, 600 feet a minute at 130 miles an hour indicated instead. So I hope everybody had a good week. All right. Need to go ahead and get some air moving in here. Open up our doors. It'll slow us down a little bit, but that's all right. It's better to be cool. So we're indicating 130 miles an hour. That's giving us, loaded as we are, which is full mains, half tips, my fat button here, 800 feet a minute, which is keeping our cylinder head temperatures about 384. That's my highest cylinder head temp, and that'll, as we climb up through the atmosphere and the engine makes a little bit less power, that'll bring that down, that'll come down with it. We're headed for 4,500, we're just climbing through 3,400. Everything is looking good, everything is sounding good. What we're gonna do now is see, this one's at 1295, so I'm gonna start leaning because I want to keep that around 1300. That seems to be a good, the exhaust gas temperature, that seems to be a good power setting. She seems to like it. The cylinder head temperatures stay down. Be 1295, so we're getting down there where we'll just start leaning it a little bit at a time. Keep those cylinder head temperatures up around the exhaust gas temperatures up around 1300. That's right at 1300, 1301. So we'll leave it right there. And it doesn't take much. There's 4,000 for 4,500. We're a mile off of my direct to course, but we're correcting for that. Coming up on 4,500. And then we'll put some speed on. We're going to have a nice tailwind going down according to the forecast, and we're going to have kind of a crappy headwind coming back, but that's all right. You get what you get, right? So there's 4,500. We go ahead and push the nose over. Level it to the horizon. Or, well, it's not level to the horizon, but there's a space between the horizon and the nose your eyeball kind of gets used to for each different plane that you fly. And that's how you know you're close. And then, of course, you come back to your instrument here and watch your altimeter. If it's going up a little bit, your nose up a little bit. If it's down a little bit. So we're bringing on the speed, which means that tail has got more pressure on it. So we're going to ease that pressure by trimming that tail, trimming the nose down a little bit. That way I don't have to push on it so hard. And we're letting that speed build up. Okay, so today's power setting is going to be 65% because we do have a tailwind. So we're going to use that to our advantage. Pressure altitude is 4,500. We come to our chart, and 21.9, 2250 is 65% at this pressure altitude. So
55 Bravo, contact Bravo 126.0.
So we come back off the manifold pressure to 21.9.
Fair enough, 55 Bravo, did you copy frequency change?
And we're undershoot that just a smidge, because when I back off the propeller, that manifold pressure will increase. We're going to 2250.
Warrior 204, radio check.
There's 2250. Alright. Lock that down, and now we're going, and we're already almost there here. We're looking for 13 gallons.
Warrior 204, hard to hear this transmitter. Warrior 204, thank you.
13 gallons an hour. Now, because we lowered the prop RPM, the nose wants to come down just a smidge, so we're going to trim it up and get her balanced out nicely. You do need to come off a couple hundred feet here. All right.
We're at 204 negative. I think there was something in my earpiece there, so I was reaching out to you guys just to verify that I could hear you guys, but they did take the frequency change.
So let's turn George on here. And we're going to come...
We're at 204, roger.
Into heading mode. And we're going to come up here, we're going to turn on the simulated GPSS steering. Now, we're controlling the up and down. George is flying left and right and holding us on course. And he likes to fly 0.10 miles right of center, which I've said a dozen times, and I don't know why he likes that, but that's just what he does, so that's what we're going to do. All right, our next step coming up, we were leaned out. We're set at 65%. We'll make sure we'll get the final trim adjustments in, and we're going to have a fuel change and 6-minute fuel tank change in 6 minutes. Or, actually what I'll do is when that says 5 gallons, we'll swap. So anyway, everything is looking good. Oil pressure, temperatures. All looks good. Let's go ahead and do our throttle set. Propeller is set, mixture is set, fuel boost pump is off, fuel pressure is set, or it's checked, it's looking good. Engine gauges are good. Heading indicator is set. Autopilot is on. And that's it. We're in cruise.
Mr. Papa, contact Chicago Center 135.6.
28 Papa over to Chicago 135.6. Thank you, sir.
No problem. Warrior 20.
Good morning, Chicago Center. Comanche 6928 Papa, level 4,500.
Or 6928 Papa, Chicago Center, roger. The Burlington altimeter is 3011. Good morning.
3011, good morning to you, ma'am.
Okay, 3011. All right, so yeah, I think we need just a little, well, maybe not. That's trimmed out pretty nice there for this airspeed. Okay, so, boy, we have had a week. We have had a heck of a week. I'm sure most of you have heard we had some winds go through here. I've never seen them before, the like of it. You know, we get some pretty big thunderstorms come through. And you'll have a gust front that'll give you a 75, 80 mile an hour gust, but it's for like 2 minutes. And then there's a wall of rain that's right behind it. This was not that. This was 85, 90. There were some 100 plus mile an hour just west of us in near Marshall, Iowa, which is by Cedar Rapids. There were 110 mile an hour winds, which, okay, most of the stuff around here will take that briefly, but this lasted for 35, 40 minutes. It was just howling to beat the band. And utility companies around here, mine especially, which is Mid-American Energy, normally they do a wonderful job, but we lost power Monday afternoon about 1:40. And it did not come back until Friday evening about 8 o'clock. So, luckily, and a little bit of a funny story, years ago, when we moved into this house, because I'm out in the country, I'm in an addition that's out in the country. I bought one of these portable generators, and a fellow that married one of my cousins owns one of these bicycle lawn equipment service, really nice place. And so I went over and I bought one from him, and I bet you in the 10 years I lived in that house, I put 10 hours on that generator. And every year I send it in and I have it, serviced. And I've kicked myself the last 3 or 4 years because I'm like, God, what a waste of money. It's a decent size 7,000 watts versus a 7 kW generator, and it has a starting rating of 8750. And when I bought this, I had one of the local electricians come out and install in the house a hookup for it, and I ran 3 items to this generator: the refrigerator freezer, the furnace, and the air conditioning. And I figured at the time, well, I can live in darkness, with flashlights and little battery operated lanterns and such, but I can't sleep in the heat. We don't have a summer porch I could go out onto, and the house just gets so hot. So, if I had a different house, I might have, with a screened in porch or something that you can get out into the air. But they don't have that anymore, really. Not many houses do. So, and I've kicked myself. I go, God, it was $1,000 generator, But boy, this week, I got to admit, I didn't work from home back then, so I didn't wire the office up for nothing. So it's time to switch tanks. Right on 5 gallons. Fuel boost pump coming on. And we'll take that left off. Or left on. I was on the right off. 5 gallons. Fuel pressure is holding. Make a note here. Okay. On that. On the left now, solid. Okay. So, we got traffic over here. About 5 miles out, down low. So, anyway, I started that generator up. I gave them a couple hours. And I started that generator up Monday evening before it got dark, because I didn't want to be out there in the dark, of course, messing with everything. And got the house running. Tuesday morning, woke up, still no power. So my friend, a guy I grew up with, met him when we were, 2 little kids, owns the car dealership there in town. It's a Chevy dealer, Turpin Chevrolet, and Turpin Motors. And I go calling him, and I'm mooching internet, I got no internet, and everything I do, my whole business is online. So, my business isn't online, all my emails, everything, So I go over there, and I worked all day Tuesday there. Come home Wednesday evening, fill the thing up with gas. And I still got my wife at home, and the kids are home from school. So, Tuesday, no power. Wednesday, no power. I'm back over there. Thursday, no power. And I'm just starting to go, well, is it ever coming back? What happened? And I go driving down the road where the pole can't see anything, so it must be farther towards the Quad Cities, which is where the power comes from. And
South 1355, Chicago Center, roger, descend and maintain
Friday,
210. This should be a good ride this
finally,
morning.
Friday evening, at about 8 o'clock, it comes back on. And boy, was there rejoicing. I ended up, the internet finally came back up. I ran drop cords into my office Thursday afternoon, the internet came back up. So I ran drop cords in, was checking that all the time. So I was able to work Friday from home. You know, running off the generator. And I put 60 some odd hours on that generator because I'd shut it off at night. The house, you know, the air conditioner was running so the house was cool. And luckily it wasn't too swelteringly hot. Anyway, so that's been my week. Utter miserable experience. Well, not really miserable, but annoying. So Mid-American, please trim your trees, because that's what brings this stuff down. Everybody lets the trees grow up around the wires. The utility companies don't want to spend the money to trim trees because the state only allows them to recoup a certain amount, I suppose, or something like that, and they're trying to keep their rates. That's just how utility companies work. Anyway, it was trees. There was 200,000 people at one point in Mid-American's territory that were without power. And it took 2 days to get half of them back up. And there's still people currently. And I saw a satellite image of some of them places in Iowa. It knocked the corn down. Some of that, if it didn't snap the base off, talking to a guy that some of it might come back, but a lot of it won't. If the base gets snapped, then of course it won't grow. But if it doesn't, it will. It'll try to stand itself back up. And what a lot of people don't understand is a combine, the fanciest John Deere combine is not going to pick that corn back up. It's just, it can get some of it, but you got a hell of a problem. So then you cut it, you know, silage it for feeding cattle or hogs, or you got nothing. You know, you disc it back into the ground and leave it over the winter. Anyway, I know nothing super exciting. We're up, we're in cruise. Ground speed is, what's our ground speed? 154 knots. Airspeed is 65%. Let's see here. Find our true airspeed. We are at 4,500. 3011. Outside air temperature is 18°C. And our calibrated airspeed is 147-ish. So true airspeed is 138 knots. Ground speed's 154. Pretty decent tailwind, which I'm going to fight coming back as a headwind, but that's all right. We're not going anywhere in a hurry. So I'm going to turn the cameras off. I'll get back with you guys here in a little bit when I'm coming in to land down in Quincy. Should be about 17 minutes. Figure about 10 minutes I'll get back with you. We'll talk to y'all in a bit. Bye. Well, good morning. We're back. It's about 8:44. We're 6 minutes out. I can just see the field. We need to start our descent. We're going to do a left downwind entry runway 4. The wind is actually calm, but there's 2 targets that are landing runway 4, so we're just going to go with the flow. So let's go ahead and pull off a couple inches of manifold pressure. Autopilot coming off. I can see the field. And we're going to go ahead and start down here. Pattern altitude, I think it was 1,900 feet, but I'm going to double check that.
Quincy traffic, Sky K43 is clear at 4. And we'll,
1,800 feet. 1,800.
Quincy traffic, 19387, 5.5 mile final, runway 04, Quincy.
Quincy area traffic, Comanche 6928 Papa, we're 14 miles north, descending through 4,000. I'll be maneuvering to enter a left downwind runway 4, Quincy.
All right, folks. I'm gonna get me some French toast. Anyway, the conversation we had about the generator, I kicked myself for years, but man, it saved my bacon this week. My wife would have been very, very uncomfortable, very upset with me. Or I would have had to go buy one at, you know, blackout prices. So, prior planning prevents piss poor performance is the life lesson there, huh? Okay, so let's get thinking about our descent here. We need to hustle on down. I'm going to pull out a little bit more power. And we're going to give ourselves about 700 feet a minute. Because we need to get down and get slowed down to enter the landing. Go ahead and make a call, 11-mile call here.
Quincy area traffic, Comanche 6928 Papa descending through 3,411 miles north of the field. Be maneuvering to enter a left downwind runway for Quincy.
And we're gonna just we're on a 45 for 4 now, which is our entry point. Got a bug in here. Richen the mixture up just a smidge. Ease the manifold pressure out just a smidge. One thing in a Comanche, sorry, I've done it again. If you ever find yourself high, like, you know, and you're like, oh, I gotta dive to get down. If you actually pull the throttle out, hold level, get the aircraft slowed down, throw the gear down, it comes down more, you know, at a...
Quincy traffic, 19387, 3-mile final, runway 04, Quincy.
It comes down at a much higher rate of speed. Problem you have is your ears. My ears don't like it. Your passenger ears as well. Okay, we are on the fullest tank, pre-landing checklist. Okay, we got the ATIS, we got that. PS, comm is set, altimeter is set. Don't need the approach timer. Fuel is set. Before landing checklist, seat back, shoulder harness are adjusted and locked. Emergency gear lever is clear. Carb heat is off. We'll get the gear when we do our gumps. Fuel pump when we do our gumps. Mixture we'll richen as we come down. Propeller we'll get when we get slowed down as part of our gumps. So we're going to be 100 on downwind, 90 base, 80 short final. Actually it's 76, but 80 is an easier number to see.
Quincy area traffic, Comanche 6928 Papa, 6 miles north of the field, descending through 2,300. Be entering the left downwind for runway 4, Quincy.
The hell, our ground speed's still 153 knots. 1,900 foot is pattern altitude. We want to get down there here relatively quickly.
Quincy traffic, 19387, 1-mile final, runway 4, Quincy.
1 mile final, so he's right off the end of 4. Okay, there's 1,900 feet. We're looking for 1,800 feet. And we're looking for traffic. We're looking for the non-radio guys especially.
Quincy area traffic, Comanche 6928 Papa, 3.5 miles north of the field. 1,800 feet leveling out. Be entering a left downwind, runway 4, Quincy.
Overshot ourselves by 50 feet there. We can't do that. Okay, so we get her slowed down now. Nose up, trim in. And I'm looking for that traffic. There he is, short final. I got him.
Quincy area traffic, Comanche 6928 Papa, left downwind, runway 4, Quincy.
Okay, we are inside gear speed. We're in the left downwind.
64 Alpha Tango, turning right base for 0.
So I'm gonna pull the manifold pressure off here because I want to make sure my gear horn. There's my gear alert. Okay.
Quincy traffic, 19387, clear runway 4, taxi to the ramp, Quincy.
Quincy area traffic, Comanche 6928 Papa, midfield downwind. Runway 4, left downwind. Runway 4, Quincy.
Okay. We are in the pattern.
And Washington County traffic, 64.
We are at 100.
Final for 02, Washington County.
We're going to beam the numbers. We're going to throw the gear down. All right, gear coming down. Gear is down. Gas, undercarriage, mixture, prop. Start our descent. We're at 100. Pull off a little manifold pressure. Looking for 500 feet-ish a minute. And now we're doing it by eyeball. Get 1 notch of flaps coming in. And we're looking to go 45. At 100. Left.
Quincy area traffic, Comanche 6928 Papa, turning left base, runway 4, Quincy.
Okay. We're at 95 miles an hour, which is good. Turning a left base. Checking for traffic. We're in the descent, nice descent, holding a nice speed. Gonna give it a little bit of gas here. And bring our second notch in. Give it a twist of trim. Check final.
Quincy area traffic, Comanche 6928 Papa, turning final, runway 4, Quincy.
Gas, undercarriage, mixture, prop. Speed, 90 miles an hour is what we want. Now we're going to start working it down. Second notch of flaps is in. Gas, undercarriage, mixture, prop. Okay. Pull off a little bit of manifold pressure here. That's 85. At a good sink rate. A little bit right to left cross. So up here at least there's a little bit of wind, but it's not too bad. Third notch flaps coming in, couple twists of trim. Short final, we're looking for 80 miles an hour. Let's go ahead and pull a little power.
Quincy area traffic, Comanche 6928 Papa, short final, runway 4, Quincy.
Check gear, gear's down. Well, there's 80 miles an hour. Right on 80, we're holding 80. Runway is clear. Right on 80. A little bit, picking up a little bit of speed. And let's go ahead and pull power. A little bit of an uphill here. We're gonna flare. Well, a little bit of a float. Flare, flare, flare. And there she set down. That was a good landing, actually. And on the brakes. There is a turn off here. Once we get across. Now we get on the brakes. There we go. Ooh, it's warm down here though. All right.
Quincy area traffic, Comanche 6928 Papa, clearly active. Quincy.
All right, after landing checklist. Flaps are up, carb heat is off, mixture, we'll lean it for taxi. Speedo heat is off. Landing taxi lights coming off. Strobes off. Fuel boost pump off. Okay. Vents open. Goodness gracious.
Quincy area traffic, Comanche 6928 Papa, crossing runway 1331 at Alpha. Quincy.
Yes, we know. Thank you. So, folks, I hope you enjoyed the flight. Just a nice breakfast run on a beautiful day. This is what I really love about aviation. Is stuff like this. Just taking a beautiful time where you can focus on a single thing and At times it can be stressful, but at times it's just the most relaxing thing I know to do. God, we got a parking space. So anyway, I hope you all have a good week. We will talk to you later. Bye.